Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Go on, everybody.
Back to talk. Love is Blind. New season, Love is Blind Mexico. Snuck up on us, Brian. Love is Blind is one of our favorite shows. I knew nothing about this. You happened to send the text in our chat this morning, and I'm really glad we were able to jump on this. If you know me and people watch our reviews, I'm usually a little lukewarm on dubbed stuff, versions outside of the US. I think sometimes they end up not being the quality, or at least I can't connect with them. This is not the case on Love is Blind Mexico. Love is Blind Mexico is great. Love is Blind Mexico is like a telenovela. The extremes are super extreme. We got a lot of children involved. We are already have had triangles. We've had some outrageous statements made. So I'm so far a huge fan of the first four episodes. Brian, how about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot as well. Big going off what you said. Yeah, I didn't see any advertising. I was texting Bill behind the scenes. Is like, I thought this was an old season. Like, I was like, I need something to watch today. I'll just check this out. And it was like, oh, episodes dropped today. I was like, oh, cool. Let's just do it. And it wasn't anywhere. No one was watching it. So like, we want to get ahead. And then UK starts next week. So it's gonna be Love Island or Love is Blind for a couple weeks here, which is good.
Love is Blind August, brought to you by the reality guys.
Yeah, but going off the dub, just because I watch a lot of the dub shows that we do here, it's a lot better. I think Spanish is probably the only one that's probably going to translate the best.
Yeah.
Because when you do like I watch those Korean shows, I don't think those translate always the best, and like the Polish ones, like that's really toting the line
Not to dive too far into phonetics, people, but the English and Spanish much more similar than
yeah,
an English to an Eastern European or an Eastern Asian language structure, right?
yeah,
The mouth thing, and it's funny. Shout out to our buddy Kyle, host of the Strat Chat pod. He's like, I can never do the mouths, and I totally agree. For the Asian dubs are usually pretty tough. You have to basically not look at their faces. But don't want to digress too much, Brian. I want to dive right into everyone. There was a lot going on here, people. So I kind of separated everybody by where they sort of started. And we do kind of, and Brian has some notes there too. We'll make sure we let you know who they ended up with and kind of what we think going forward. The first person that was really highlighted was Gerardo. So Gerardo had a few different women interested in him that we got to meet. First one we got to meet was Moffer. Now, I loved Moffer. I texted you guys about her about 10 minutes into the episode. I just like to party. And so right away, I kind of tell like we had some fun people going into this season. The other major player being Fernanda. Fernanda, a lot more mature. Fernanda, I believe, was a mother, correct?
think she's like 35.
Yeah, she's like
Which is
34,
on the older
36,
side.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting about Gerardo. He really bounced back and forth, right? This
Mhm.
guy was the definition of being too honest with everyone as he was dating. I couldn't tell. Every time he went in to talk to one of those girls, I thought he was dumping them.
Yeah, same. I felt that for honestly a lot of the guys. There's a
They
couple
did a
times I was
very
like,
good job. That one dude we'll get to later, where he literally went through the entire thing. He's like, and I actually do like that connection better. I was like, oh,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
they did
so
it.
bad.
They did it like kind of crazy with the editing, but they have had all these seasons to watch, so they kind of have an idea. Because always feel like the first season is always like kind of the best. So like I feel like a lot of these people, I like the age. Like at least they're going with the age is kind of more appropriate. I don't think people are there for fame, but I
I
probably
tend to agree. The average, it seems to be leaning in the mid 30s for most of the people on this season. And I tend to agree with you, Brian, that it's more believable that someone our age would consider doing this versus a lot of the American seasons so far, a lot of young 20s,
yeah.
mid 20s. It's
Oh
just not
wow.
going to work because of just the lack of life experience and lack of, frankly, making mistakes like going
Mhm.
on a dating show like this, right? People in
Right.
their they're all divorced. Half these people have kids. They're all, it seems like mostly all of them are divorced in some way. Like it have
Somebody
been
has a kid that's like
divorced.
15 years old. That's
Yeah, like in
crazy.
high school.
That's
He
crazy.
probably like a subscribed to our channel.
Yeah. They're like giving input on the show.
He was also the one who proposed by playing the guitar. I always find that shit to be super corny. But
Yeah.
whatever. Their reveal did go well though. And I'm going to start pointing that out because there
It's
were a few
important
that
this season.
did
Yeah.
not. There's two in particular that I think did not. One's an all-time bad one, and another one that is already, I know, gonna creep into being bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
let's move.
I mean, so far I like that. I think that couple has a good chance. I wouldn't put them in the DE dead.
Yeah.
category.
Um, Brian, what do you think about Chris? He went between Alejandra and Sylvia. Let's kind of dive into them.
Is Chris the translation from English from Spanish? I thought it was Kame or Kame.
Yeah, I was calling it. Chris definitely was like the English
Yeah.
version. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really get a good vibe from that dude, to be completely honest with you.
I don't either. And out of everybody, it's the one that I have, frankly, the least amount of notes about, right? And that's what's a little bit disconcerting to me. I have so much about everybody else. And this
Yeah.
guy, for whatever reason, I literally just have the two women that were interested in it.
And I like both the girls. I don't really have an issue with either of them. I'm with you. I think they kind of did a good, like people were talking, like, you know how they did like talking. I know I'm not skipping around here, but like
Yeah.
at the end, like people like, I don't know if he's here for just like to be here. And that if they're noticing that, that's kind of how I guess what we see is like, you don't have notes. I'm kind of lukewarm on them. Like that everyone involved in the show and viewers probably feel the same way. Like, what's up with this guy?
He ended up with Alejandra. Um,
No, he's with that's the girl that said she's gonna wait. He's with
I have that on
Sylvie.
here.
He's with
So
Sylvie,
wait.
the curvy model.
Uh, yeah. Yep.
Sylvie, yeah. She's like,
Yep.
oh, she said she wants to be like, I think she wanted to be like kind of sexual and things
Yep.
like that. They did like
Yep.
the massage thing on the honeymoon. Yeah, Sylvie was the one that he chose. But again, that was one he was going back and forth on.
Okay. See, again, that's why my notes are very weird on him.
The
Uh,
edit.
Fernando. We have the Fernando, Iris, and Chio triangle. Iris told Fernando he was for him. I told the girls that Fernando is for him. Chio says that made the proposal rumor. Said that he had proposed, right? That this is
Mhm.
that crew. What was your vibe on that?
On the proposal, that
On the
thing.
proposal rumor stuff, is your rumor starter? Is that do you agree with that sentiment, or do you think it was fair game? Because when she was confronted um, by Ira, she's like, "You did say that to me."
Well, so when I think this is one of those ones where I think was there actually a dub, like a language dubbing issue? Because the way we heard it, it didn't sound like she's like, oh, I'm married.
Yeah,
But again, we don't know. Like again, the dubbing, like we don't. I don't know. I didn't have Spanish subtitles on, so I'm not. I don't know. I think it was kind of overblown, to be honest with you. I thought a lot of this stuff, like the drama in the pods between like same set, like women versus guys, was kind of mild compared to the American version.
what's interesting about all of that, right, is that he doesn't pick any of them, right? Like, does Fernando ends up with Karen, right?
Yeah, Karen comes from the bleachers.
And it comes out of nowhere. Literally, the whole I'm thinking, okay, he's going to pick out the triangle. Neither, and good for him. And Karen,
The swinger.
Karen, husband was gay. They got divorced. She's the one who's into swinging, the threesomes. I feel like the husband probably had something to do with that, right? She, you know,
I
she
think
had,
she is open she's very open sexually, but I also thought like her story how like because and this is why I was kind of thinking like where she's like almost got beat he almost beat me up because I revealed that I was going to say that he was gay, and it
yeah.
reminded me of watching old seasons of 90 Day Fiance the other way with oh man, I can't even remember the names. Kenny and Armando. Like Armando was so worried about his family finding out that he was gay because apparently in Mexico being gay is not okay in any form.
It's
Like
culturally, yeah, no,
yeah,
it's like
so
wrong.
like not that I'm
We don't care.
I don't care, but I'm saying I was kind of under like how to go that crazy that he was gonna beat her. Like, he was like choking her and beating her. That's like probably one of the craziest stories that we've ever heard on any of the shows we covered.
It was like, oh boy, yeah,
Yeah, because she's talking about swinging and then she's talking about getting choked out. But
that was a rough life. She's had how my grandpa would say, she's had a rough paper route. So hoping that, frankly, she seems happy with him so far. I mean, everybody, well, it's a great segue because I would say everyone seems happy during the honeymoon,
except Saul.
unless you're Saul.
Well, I think Saul saw how what she looked like and he was like, shit.
Poor Letty. Look, I don't like. I know plenty of people in my life, and people have ADHD. Understand that it is definitely a struggle as far as a lot of social cues, a lot of just the things that will be important to you, or that you maybe will get fixated on versus your friends or partners, right? what I have to say though is I don't. One, she came in with a bad attitude, right? She was not really there to embrace it. And this happens every season, and I don't care. Producers can do what they want, but I always get the vibe that the producers let one easy red flag swinging person in every season, and that ends up screwing the respective partner, aka Saul, right? Because like this woman from the start, not into intimacy, period. She has a lot of kind of philosophical views about that.
Yeah.
I have not seen him being trying to tell her what to do, and she's kind of actively negative talking the relationship. While when you see on the other side, the guys are coming to him being like, "Yeah, we're concerned." He's like, "It stinks, but like I'm going to do my best and put my
Mhm.
best foot forward." But they are, and if you're watching me for at all, everyone, guys, they are the officially first. Well, technically they're not, but the first couple that got to
Honeymoon
the
that's done.
engagement. We'll get to our other boys
Yeah.
next.
I
Ira
think I
today,
think
but
though is their problem is they need to communicate more. That's kind of where they left a lot of things they should have talked about in the pods about like her ADHD, like kind of what they're expecting. Because like they, if she just said that, that would have been able. They could have talked about a lot of things like, hey, what are you expecting of me? Kind of going from there. But I think that's the problem is they just didn't communicate fully.
everyone knows that. Everyone sees it. Uh, it's just done, right? I feel for her. I did. I let's talk about the ones we talked about really quick. Iris and Renee, right? So Renee was Iris's second pick anyway after she
Mhm.
had gotten dumped. Those are never doomed to work, right? Though she's anti-drinking. We've heard the stories and stuff that she had brought about some traumatic stuff.
Yeah.
She took one look at him and said he looks like a drunk, and she wouldn't come out after she saw him, and it just ended.
Yeah,
That to
production.
me,
That's when production was like, I was like, who said that? Like, you need to leave the show.
that was bad. And I think, like you said, there are some rumors out there that there may be some cultural and racial things. Again, we obviously don't live in Mexico. We're
We
from
don't know.
Mexico,
Yeah, so
so any of our Mexican dwelling viewers, honestly, like let us know. You guys, it's also the first day the show's out, so there's not a lot of discourse out there yet. But there to just get say he looks like a drunk. I did he look like a drunk to you? He also lives in Los Angeles. Not even Mexican, like a full blown Mexican citizen.
yeah, so she was like the drinking she was worried about because also what was weird is when Fernando like shot her down and she was like, well, what do you think about Renee? Like in that conversation was just weird to me.
And he gave him a good review. So
Yeah.
again, you would think you would take the advice
Yeah.
of
It was
anybody.
that and the piercings. She didn't like the piercings, is
Oh
what she kept
God.
saying. But to me, honestly, man, like she kind of reminded me of somebody that just if anybody was on the show to get attention, it to me, I was getting the vibe from her because how just that whole conversation where she gets dumped and then immediately is like, well, what do you think about this person? Like trying to get in to move further in the show. That's the way I was interpreting
Yeah.
it. It just seems kind of unnatural how you're getting dumped and you're going to ask a guy who you just kind of were like, I want to be with you. And they're like, hey, what about him? You know what I mean? Like just like the switch flip to go to somebody else.
Um, the next person I wanted to talk about, and frankly, I really want to more so talk about who he didn't end up with versus who he did, and that's Chima. Chima and Alejandro, when he lets Alejandro down, Alejandro's the one that's going to go to grad school, long distance. He
Mhm.
says he doesn't want to do that. She says, well, I don't need to go to Italy to go to grad school. I'll make it work. He was the one that really made me think he was picking her and then pulled
Yeah.
the rug out from under her. And then when you think you've seen what's going to happen, she's going to be upset, tell him to leave the pod or she's going to leave the pod. She goes, it ain't over. I'll be here when you go have fun at the beach. She goes, go literally says, go have fun at the beach. I was like, oh my God, is she a boss or a psychopath? But either way, like, I cannot wait for her
When
return.
as soon as you said that, production was like this. They were like, let's go, let's go. We got a plot line right here. Bring her in.
You are the chosen one.
Yeah, she'll be. I mean, I saw it in the preview, but you knew that. Like they always bring people back, but that's an automatic slam dunk that she's coming back.
Automatic, also my favorite
And then the
character.
other one, the girl you liked looked like she was coming back as well.
Oh, which one?
The guitar player or Moffer.
Yeah, Moth.
Yeah. But like we didn't really see a lot of the dudes. Like I felt like we saw a lot of the girls that didn't make it, but we didn't see a ton of
I'm
dudes.
kind of glad though they didn't give us a ton of fluff people. I kind of appreciate that. I don't want to see the one-off quick combos that America gives me. I want more time. We've given that exact criticism of the American. Give me more time with the actual people. I don't give a crap about the fluff people, and they didn't. I think they were very purposeful with their
Mhm.
time. This may be one of the better first weeks since OG like season 1 and 2 of this, like it's really up there. I think it may be my third favorite first season. It
Yeah.
may be my second favorite because of how just over the top these people are.
Yeah, this is watching this today is making me. I need to go like watch all of Brazil because apparently Brazil is really good and some of the other ones. And then we have UK. I'm excited for UK now, like
UK, we're
more than I
100%
already was.
guys. We're reviewing that for
Yeah.
sure. We're actually excited because now we have some shows that we're
No
into.
dubs,
No
no dummies
dubs.
in that one.
Oh, they'll end up on perfect match. Like it's
So that's the 7th. So that's actually comes out on Wednesday, which is actually kind of
next
semi
Wednesday.
nice
That's actually very nice.
because then we can.
Um, quick favorite quote for me was Willie just talking about how surprised he was that people get engaged so fast on the show. I thought that was thank you, someone breaking the fourth wall and just
Who's he? Who's he with again? Did we talk about them?
no, we didn't go to Willie yet.
Because he's with the one who like kind of they snuck in late, but I actually kind of like her.
It's Francesca. Willie's with
Yeah, Francesca.
Francesca.
I kind of like her.
And
I
then
think she's a
Francesca was friends with Chima from
yeah.
home because she used to date his friend. And Francesca was the one that was like, look, like he's super into looks and Sylvia ain't his type. I mean, she's taller than him too, which
Yeah, I think Francesca's taller than Willie. I love that
yeah.
they were calling him Guillermo. I love that. Is like,
No, I'm talking about the Chima with
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like she's saying that about Sylvie for Chimo,
and
but I'm saying
Sylvia had said she didn't want to be. She kind of intimated she didn't really want to be bigger than her partner, and
yeah.
she.
But I also you were saying somebody's taller. I think Francesca's also taller than Willie.
Oh yeah, no,
I
it's
think.
is for
Again,
sure,
we're gonna probably I'll have all these pictures in here in this edit, and I could be totally wrong with the way
and
it's
we'll be fine. And as
it's
now that they're
first
just
week's
coupled
tough.
up, they're coupled up, and two couples are done. Like we'll really be honed in for them next week. But frankly, I think we are the only review out there, Brian. So at least so far. So we will take that. Anything else to tie up? But I think we covered a good bit here for week 1.
Yeah, I thought the honeymoon portion was honestly a lot shorter. Like they're moving, they're keep. I think a lot more things are probably gonna happen in the because there's 11 total episodes. There's gonna be 11, so there's 4. So they're gonna spend a lot of time probably
Which I
in
appreciate because
back end.
I don't care about the fake stuff. Get right to the meat.
Yeah, unless they're like
Yeah.
doing like I kind of wish like the two couples the couple that they knew wouldn't work because what's her face Iris would have came in there and maybe caused a little bit of tension. Like I feel like there wasn't a lot of tension between like I was talking to her or I was talking to him and now he's with somebody else. You know how I'm like USA. There's always
Yeah.
like the meeting the happy hour is kind of like a oh I can't believe that's what they look like type of stuff and you didn't really get that here
No,
except for Aaron.
I like the focus on the home stuff. I like the
Yeah,
11
yeah.
episode format. So Brian and I will be back for week 2. We also will be back for UK. So if you are a Love Island fan, also go check out a Love is Blind. Well, if you're a Love Island fan, we
Yeah.
do cover that. But if you're a Love is Blind fan, we do have a review of all the seasons of Love is Blind USA. Now that we have to actually
Yeah, we gotta say that now.
create that. But go back. Like I said, we've got reviews of all that, all other Netflix shows, really all the reality shows. But for myself and Brian, thank you so much for watching. Peace.